Rob from Wheelworks Bike Shop in Dublin. We're doing an unboxing, doing a couple of unboxings. First one is a pretty special bike. It's for a friend of mine. It is the very last of the Emonda SLRs before the new Madone was launched. And I got a pretty special paint job on this one. I've been looking forward to this for a while. Okay. Get that out there. So, it's an SLR 9 eTap axis. So it's SRAM red. Bontrager Aeolus 37 wheels, R4 tyres, and it's a chrome paint job. So let's move that back over a bit and get me snips. So this is Diamondflake Chroma. We've had a couple of Diamondflake Chroma bikes in. I have a Madone in that colour, and we actually have another one arrived in today, which is the Speed Concept, I believe. So that'll be the next one that I'm going to go and pull out of the box. If you like the videos, you're supposed to do the whole like and subscribe and or give me a comment if there's something I could be doing better with the videos, because I'm just making this shit up as I go along. Stick it in the comments, tell me what you'd like to see. The Emonda SLR has an integrated one-piece bar and stem. The Bontrager Aeolus RSL bar and stem. One-piece bar and stem with nifty cable routing. It's external cable routing, but the bar has a groove in underneath the tops. You can see here, so you can see where the cables sit into that groove, and then your bar tape covers it, and there's a little cap bolts in here, so it's really neat cable routing when you have that fitted. And of course the benefit then with electronic shifting with SRAM in particular is you only have brake cables, you don't have gear cables, because the shifting is wireless. The chrome finish on these is pretty incredible. And there's a little there's some special text on this one, #MMA, one of a kind. That's a personal message for the client on this one. The Aeolus wheels, the RSLs are Bontrager's highest spec wheel, and the 37 is the lightest one. Shallow, lightweight climbing wheel. We must check the weight of this one. I can't imagine the chrome paint is the lightest paint, so it's probably not going to be the lightest Emonda build, but with SRAM red and the RSL bar and the SLR or the RSL wheels, it should be coming in pretty light. Be an interesting one to we have one of the new Gen 8 Madones downstairs with a very similar build with SRAM red. It's got the Pro 51 wheels, but it'll be an interesting comparison to see what the weight difference is in them. And which one comes in lighter, the new Madone or the outgoing Emonda. I think Trek's claim is it's as fast as the new Madone is as fast as the Gen 7 and as light as the Emonda. So interesting to put the two of them side by side with pretty similar builds and see how they compare. And speaking of the new Gen 8 bike, I got one on Friday and got out in it over the weekend. I did about 300k over the weekend on it, and it's mental quick, absolutely mental. It is definitely as fast as the outgoing bike on the flat and rolly roads, and it wasn't particularly hilly. The routes that I did over the weekend, they were sort of rolly, so it was a very good comparison with the Gen 7 Madone that I'm on at the moment. Yeah, I'm absolutely 100% converted in terms of performance. It's probably the best bike I've ever ridden from that point of view, in terms of the way it climbs, plus the way it goes on the flat and on rolly conditions. But I still think the Gen 7, which we have one there, I think the Gen 7 is still the best looking bike Trek have ever done, and I still think the aero bikes, the full on aero bikes, they just look so cool. I think we've actually sold a lot of the Gen 7s over the last 2 weeks, where people are realising that they're not going to be able to get them again, and there's a little bit of panic. They've also been on special, which didn't do any harm, but yeah, there's a real divide in opinion about the Gen 7 and the Gen 8, whether Trek have made the right decision to go with one bike to replace the Emonda and the Madone. I was very unimpressed with the idea when I first heard it. After riding the bike, I'm coming around to it a bit more. You can tell me what you think in the comments. Should they have kept them separate, Emonda and Madone, or are we better off with one bike, lightweight and aero combined? Right, so that's unpacking done. Somebody in the comments, I can't remember who it was, the other day asked me would I fit the saddle and seat post on the bikes when I'm doing an unboxing. That he enjoyed the unboxings, but he thought the bikes looked disproportionate or unbalanced or just unfinished, and I thought that's quite a good suggestion. So you can hang around while I do that if you like, or you've seen the colour now. If it's ash, my wife, she hangs around, looks at the colour and leaves the building. She's gone already. But if you want to see the bike more or less with its proportional build done, then hang around for another minute and I'll think of some more shite to talk about. Okay. In case you're wondering what sort of stuff comes in the box of bits, so an awful lot of this never sees the light of day because for legal reasons, bikes in certain countries have to be supplied with reflectors, and obviously we're not going to fit reflectors on €2,500 carbon wheels or reflectors on your seat post or on your handlebars, so they typically don't get fitted. And then you've got the little bits that do go with the bike. So you've got the SRAM disc brake blocks, the little wedges that slide in to stop the brakes from closing if you have the wheels out. You've got the cap for the RSL handlebar that we spoke about. The bar tape, and in this case it is Bontrager Perfline in black. They also come with some paperwork, and these are build lists. So this is the build sheet that was included with the bike. So these are all the parts that were fitted and all that sort of stuff. This is all from the Project One facility in Wisconsin, where the bike's assembled. Actually, the bike is painted in Wisconsin, and this one, I believe, was assembled in the Project One assembly facility in Germany. It's got Deutschland at the bottom here, so I'm presuming it was built in Germany. Made in the USA. There's just some barcodes. And this guy is... So this is a part of the order, and it's got details of... so again, this goes to the paint shop, and this has details like the personalization that's on it, and whether the artist is assigned it and all that sort of stuff, what color head badge you want on the bike, things like that. So all that information goes to the Project One guys when they're painting it, and then you get your owner's manual, and that's the same owner's manual you get with a €500 mountain bike. So it's probably not all that applicable to anything. So anyway, we'll carry on. And you get your SRAM box, which has your charger for the AXS batteries in it. So saddle on this one, I believe, should be an RSL. Yeah, so it's an Aeolus RSL. These things are insanely light and really, really comfortable. I'm a big fan. When Bontrager went over to the short nose saddle first, the Aeolus, I think the Pro was the first one I tried, and they're very comfortable. But it took me quite a while to get used to the position on it, because the short nose saddle, you sit quite differently on it. But I'm a big fan, really like it. It's carbon shell. Don't know if you can see that. So you've got the carbon weave there. It's carbon rails. And then these 2 points here, you can pop in a little bracket, and your light sits out the back there. And the Emonda has a seat mast cap, which goes over the frame as opposed to in it. There's no cutting or anything like that. And then for a carbon saddle, you need the bigger ears, which is what we call them. That's what I call them. I'm not sure if that's the technical name or not. That is the technical name, Eddie. Thank you. So I don't know why they call them ears. Sort of looks like an ear, maybe. So anyway, let's get the seat post put together. I was going to say these are really straightforward to put together, but then I thought I'm going to wait until I actually have it together before I say that, so that I don't look like a clown when I make a mistake. Something you've done 1,000 times and then you do it wrong when somebody's got a camera pointed at you. So there's obviously different sizes of these depending on whether you're using a carbon saddle, because the carbon rails are taller. If you're using either steel rails or any type of metal rail saddle, they'll have round rails. The carbon ones are oval, so they're slim but they're tall. So the ears are carbon specific ears, and I just need to line this guy up.
And what's the idea with the taller rails? Just that they're...
So if you use a round rail, if you use a round ear, oh, you mean the taller rails in the saddle?
Yes.
It's a carbon construction thing. It's stronger.
Okay.
It's stronger than a round rail.
And then they can use less material with similar dimensions, that kind of thing.
No, I think it's where the stress point is. That the stress is mostly vertical, and it spreads the load with the taller rails, as opposed to a round one that would be more concentrated. But that's me guessing a little bit. Thanks for asking the only question I don't know the answer to, Eddie. I told Eddie, I said at the start, I said, okay, when you're recording, you can ask me any questions, because I often don't know what to be saying when I'm unboxing these bikes. I'm just taking shit off the bikes. So he asked me the only question that I don't actually know. Well, I'm sure there's lots of questions I don't know the actual answer to. So that's one that I'm guessing. That's all right, Eddie. So carry on asking questions all you want. So you know when I said this was going to be really easy and straightforward to pop it on, I'm making a bit of a meal of it. Let me just get my Allen key now and I'll tighten it up. Here we go. So we'll stand that there.
this coming stock the most up-to-date red, is it?
No, so this one was ordered before the group sets had changed. So it's the previous generation red, as well as the previous, well, the last of the Emonda, because they're not available anymore. They've been replaced by the new Gen 8 Madone. I'm only nipping these up a little bit. Anywhere where we're closing on carbon, I'll always use a torque wrench. So for any of the assembly where you see me tightening things with just a regular Allen key, I'm going to 1 or 2 Newton meters just so bits don't fall off. Otherwise, I will always use a torque wrench. You can see the saddle's still moving. I'll always use a torque wrench. It's too easy to crush or damage parts. So that's it. So it's an Emonda SLR 9 eTap AXS SRAM red, 12-speed wireless group set. Bontrager Aeolus RSL 37 wheels, 725 Bontrager R430 tyres, and a Bontrager RSL handlebar, the one-piece integrated cockpit. So that's pretty much it with the saddle on for a change. Rob from Wheelworks Bike Shop in Dublin. We'll put this away, get it down to the workshop guys, and they can torque things up properly. And I'm going to go and get another bike to take out of a box.